anyway, let's get back to Galvin. Let's get back to the Galvin chat. Let's get back to the Bulldogs. And I was giving my reasons why I thought Galvin would work at halfback. What do you guys think?
Oh, well, both you spoke about his footy IQ. I mean, I think he's smart enough to pull it off. I think Cameron Cireldo's smart enough to transform him into a halfback. And I think it's worth the risk because, as I said on this panel, as I said earlier numerous times, I don't think that spine as it stands right now is good enough to win the comp. And I think Lachlan Galvin potentially, if he's at his best, if he can be the player that I think they think he can be and most of us think he can be, then that spine gets a significant upgrade.
Yeah, and the guys that get tapped on the shoulder, it's how they hang around the group, right? So whether they move them on quickly, Braith, and get them out of there. Because if you've helped build it to where it is now, and it's a bit of a juggernaut the way the Dogs are built, and I think it's every man has probably pulled in and they've all pulled in the same direction. Galvin's a talent. Would you sign him? Absolutely. But it's the collateral damage around him that, if I'm a Dogs fan and I'm sitting on my couch, hopefully it doesn't disrupt it too much.
Yeah, I think the worry is short-term pain for long-term gain. That's like, I see this as a really good signing, especially because the price they've got him at. Like, they've got him at a really good price, and he's only going to get better, and he's a 10 to 15-year first grader half, maybe moves into lock, whatever it is. He's an exceptional talent. But there is still a concern, Buzz. There's still a concern that this could derail them this year. I don't think it will, personally, but, you know, it's a very unusual situation. Sitting in first position, the best they've ever been, well, they've been for a hell of a long time. And the potential of a signing like this disrupting a season where I thought they could still win a comp. I mean, they're not favourites, but... Yeah,
that's exactly what I was... You talk about short-term pain. There's not a lot of pain there at the moment. We keep forgetting they're deserved leaders of this competition for a reason. And the way Melbourne are playing so inconsistently, and other clubs like Manly haven't come up, Cronulla would, you know, the Broncos have been going like bus. They're a chance this year, particularly with Galvin there. What I will back.
Are they a stronger chance now?
Yeah,
do we all agree on that?
Back, you guys are talking. You guys are talking about Galvin.
I've got to see
playing
evidence first, really.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sold on Galvin, mind you. You know, Gus said he was the best prodigy he's ever seen. He's not the best prodigy I've ever seen. Yeah. I think he's got the potential to be great, but I haven't exactly... Have you seen it yet?
No.
I would think, personally, to come in from another club with a couple of training runs, play half, steer that side is too much. And
I don't think he'll start, but he'll start on the bench.
Well, that's what I would have thought.
He won't start.
The thing working in Canterbury's favour is that Cameron Cireldo is a great rugby league coach. Yes. He really is. Right. And what he's done with that side, and I know Gus has got a lot of the credit, what he's done with that side the last 2 years, he won't stuff this up. They're a real chance.
That's why he's gone there. Now, let's get to the Eels. Now, the Eels thought they had him in the bag. It was done as far as it was... As soon as last
Friday night, they met with Isaac Moses Friday night, and they walked away from that meeting quietly confident that they were getting Lachlan Galvin. They upped their offer, a significant amount, reasonable amount more than the Bulldogs offered. And they
How much more do you know?
Well, I think their offer was over 800, and I think the Bulldogs' average is about 700, is my understanding. So at least another $100,000 a year. And I think they were optimistic that they were a big chance. That was the indication they were getting on Friday night, and then obviously over the weekend things changed.
So he was a Parramatta fan.
Yep.
You got Mitchell Moses in his ear and the potential to play with him. Isaac Moses manages both Mitchell and Lachlan.
Yep.
Why? What happened? Why not?
Well, I don't know the exact reason why, Braith. I can only assume. I mean, obviously he's close to Luke Vella. I think there were some phone calls made over the course of the weekend, and his mind changed. But you know, as of Friday night, my understanding was, as I said, Parramatta were quietly confident he was coming to them.
And more money too.
And more money.
Yeah, it's interesting where it leaves Parramatta now, isn't it? Look, I was told over the weekend that Sandon Smith will leave the Roosters, even though he's got a year to go with Cherry Evans coming, and he was strongly favouring the Cowboys. I've since learnt that Parramatta, now they know Galvin's not coming, will have a decent crack for Sandon Smith.
I've heard that too, Buzz. I've heard
that. Hopefully Sexton gets a role somewhere. Yeah. And maybe Brisbane would be the perfect place.
I'd like to see him back at the Titans. They need a halfback. And I know Foz is around this year, but they need a halfback.
Absolutely.
So you mentioned Sandon Smith, a possibility, if he leaves the Roosters, which is being suggested that he will, to Parramatta. What are their other options?
Well, Jonah Pezzett, both one of your men's an obvious one. I mean, Jonah's obviously got that agreement that if Jerome Hughes extends, he can look at potentially going on loan or leaving the club.
Yeah.
So-
He had a clause. He's got a clause. If Jerome Hughes re-signs with Melbourne, then he can negotiate with other clubs. Let's have a look at Buzz again, who was in the lab this morning. He's just got the lab suit on 24/7 at the moment. Off-contract players, 25 and 26 potential opportunities for Parramatta there, Buzz.
Well, you can rule out a few of those. They won't be going up to Jackson Hastings or Cody Walker, would you? Reynolds, I think, will stay in Brisbane. Toby Sexton might be an option. Pizzette, your man, definite. If they're prepared to wait longer, there's the likes of Jerome, who we expect to stay in Melbourne, though. Metcalf, Smith, Wisher. There's some good players there.
Geez, I don't have a red hot go at Luke Metcalf.
Metcalf?
Give it to
Wouldn't you?
leave
They're
New
not
Zealand.
going to let him go, Warriors.
You
They
wouldn't have thought
couldn't
so.
let him go. But
I
you'd
tell
have Metcalf.
I tell you, he's a terrific player, Jack Cole, who can't get a game at Penrith. And I reckon they could get him out
Why are
now.
you such a big rap on Jack?
I think he's a very, very sharp and competent player.
Yep.
And I know he lost his spot to Blaze Tulagi, right?
Yep.
I just think he's a very good first-grade footballer.
All right, plenty to play out in all of this. Could affect a number of clubs. Stick around, journos. Up next, we cross live to reigning Wally Lewis medalist, Angus Crichton.